Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here with my 2023 Chevy Colorado Trailboss, and we're going to be reviewing some of the modifications that I've made from my list, and it's also be part of our 3,000 mile review. Just right off the bat, before we get into it, 3,000 miles, no issues. I just want to make that prominent. You hear a lot of people saying they've had issues with the truck. That's the 1%. The other 99% have no issues with this truck, so let's get into our mods. To start the list, we've got our blacked out badging. So I went around and plasti dipped those blacked out badgings. As you can see here, put it on there, that Colorado. Everything looks pretty good there. I got these American flags from Gap Mags. Those are just a nice little touch there. Not that it's too crazy, right? But you're not going to see it here, but I got the high output tune, bringing it to 430 foot-pounds of torque. And so my Colorado never came with the hood liner, and I went ahead and had the dealer put that in for me. Well, actually they gave it to me and I put it in, but that's okay, right? Because it needed it. You do not lose any sound or anything from the turbo. It just looks better, dissipates heat better. We come over here and we got these red line tuning struts here, which are pretty nice. As you can see, even if I lower it like this, and if I want to bring it up, it goes up very, very nicely. Right, and those again are from red line tuning. I really like them. Not that I get in the engine compartment a lot, but now the only thing is if you were to put some ditch lights on, it actually goes into these bolts here. Now I think I could probably get the ditch light bolt in there for my auxiliary lighting, but the big problem with that is, you know, where do you put your auxiliary lighting? Do I drill a hole through here? Do I get one of those terribly ugly bull bars that actually replace these? So the bull bars pull both of these out and you have to replace them. So I don't know if I want to do that. Next mod is going to be these Nitto Trail Grapplers. Now, these are some nice tires. Lugs are nice and thick. As you can see, these are 275 70R 18. That puts them at a 34-inch overall diameter. So that's pretty nice. Looks really, really nice. I removed the steps. Now the only problem is there's nothing protecting the rocker, so I need to fix that. But they only make things that go into the pinch seams and not actually the frame, so I might just have to go ahead and opt in for just the pinch seams for now, and then later on, because I really don't want to weld anything on here yet. You know, we don't really want to do any of that stuff. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to head inside real quick. I did put these on, you know, just to prevent scuffing. I've got a pair of cheap seat covers. Cat skins are really nice, but I have a big dog and she likes to party, right? So I have this for that. And then of course I have your standard, you see, look, here's her toy, but I have the standard dog back seat. One of my zippers already broke, so I'm not too really worried about that because these things break all the time. I also have a dash cam, so there's the rear end version of the cam, and my dash cam is sitting right up there. Now the dash cam works really, really well. However, sometimes because it's so hot here in Virginia, we'll get it where it it'll fall down, that one, but you just gotta put it back up and spin it and it's good to go. And it opts in, the rear camera opts in, and I can see my bed. So I did do it that way because it's just much easier to put it on the passenger side. And I'll show you how I wired that down, because this wire comes from here. I run it down this seam, and I just ran it behind here and all the way up to the front. What we're looking at here is my dash cam, and I ran it, same thing, around the post and all the way down. And believe it or not, I have it plugged in here. So yeah, I do have a wire there, and I'm not really too concerned about that because the wire is hidden. This is from OCD Plug, and the only place I kind of messed it up was here, and if anyone knows, it's very difficult to get that in, so it's just a little more difficult. I removed the screen protector. I'm going to put the OCD Plug's correct proper one on there, and the old one did remove very easy with absolutely no issues. All right, moving on, I've got the Chevy floor liners here. Those are both front and rear. So these are really nice. They're kind of like coupled, right? So it keeps all of the stuff in. I don't necessarily like how it cuts off here. I think it should have went on the sidewall a little more. But you know, it is what it is. Don't mind the hair, you know, we got that giant dog. So when I wire auxiliary lighting, I was thinking of putting the light switch here or maybe up here. I'm not quite sure yet. So I do have a pair of Oxida lights. Hi. Right here. So these are the ones that I want to put on there. Okay. Sorry guys, the dog wants to look at that stuff. But so the only problem is these are 7-inch Oxida lights and they're quite large. So I wasn't sure if they would actually fit here well, because they're gonna just be so massive. But I mean, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna put instead of putting the mounts here, what I did is I ordered some magnetic mounts. Now you can't mount anything here because this is aluminum hood, but you can put the magnets up here, and then I'll run the wire down here, right here, and into the compartment and over into the battery hookup. So that's what we're gonna actually try to do there. So those are our current modifications. Obviously they don't have a lift kit yet. They don't have bumpers available yet for this. I eventually want to get a bumper, definitely a lift kit, definitely auxiliary lighting, which I have, but there's nowhere I can put it quite yet. Possibly a chase rack. Not sure if I like the idea of a chase rack yet. I'm contemplating a tonneau cover still currently. I will be outfitting all this stuff with LED lighting bulbs until there is a actual workaround for that lighting. All right, so circling back, if anyone has any suggestions on a bumper, definitely looking for one. Also, if anyone has any suggestions on some rock rails, I'm definitely looking forward to them. I don't mind the NFAB ones, I just don't like how they attach to the body up underneath. The Chevy ones are very expensive for no reason, especially when NFAB is way cheaper. I know NFAB has a couple trail sliders, you know, Fab Force makes a few. I know there's nothing yet, you know, for the rear bumper. So if anyone has any suggestions on those, definitely looking for that. I know there's not a lift kit yet. You're gonna have to wait for that as well. So has anyone else wired auxiliary lighting on the front of their trucks other than the brackets there, like I'm talking about on the other end of your truck rather than getting the bull bar? Just let me know in the comments below. I am looking, I'm always looking to see if there's something new coming out, and I'm just standing by until something does. All right, so anyone that's serious about off-roading, bought this from TireFlight.com. This is a portable air compressor with a 4-way deflate-inflate system. This will help you regulate the temperature. Each hose goes to 2 tires and it all feeds back to this this chuck here, and it regulates the pressure. So inflating and deflating. It'll deflate in under 2.5 minutes and it'll inflate just about, I mean, it's about under 4, so it's 3 minutes and some change. 300 LPM this puts out, and it has an Americanized chuck on it, which is awesome. This thing is a must if you're actually off-roading and you need, or if you just need this around the house, but for off-roading specifically, this thing is golden. Again, you can get that at TireFlight.com. I basically burnt up my Harbor Freight one, so I had to upgrade because when we go off-road, it was just taking way too long. That thing would get so hot you could cook an egg on it, and it would shut down and thermally throttle it. And it was taking about 40 minutes to air out my tires, and my gosh, just to deflate them with my key was terrible. But this will deflate in under 2 and inflate in under 4. I just want to add a quick spoon here for everybody. If your hood is not sitting level, mine was not, and it's because of this. So you can screw this up and screw these down to adjust how the hood sits. So what I mean is, if you see this gap, if you have a really big cliff here, you can adjust how that hood sits. Mine was sitting quite high on this side, so I had to, quite low, so I was like, wow, that's a huge drop off. So I had to move that rubber, you just twist it to come up, and it levels it out on each side. I didn't know that because like, why is my hood misaligned? Why is it sitting so funny? So you actually have to screw that up, and it will actually level that hood out. Just screw it up by eye if you can. So let's talk about these modes real quick. And a lot of people have asked me, did the 430 foot-pounds of torque actually do anything? Yes, it did. And where I see it most is off-road. So when I'm in 4 low, even in 4 high, just using my gear selector lever, that is where you see that extra 39, 40 foot-pounds of torque. Now, could it be placebo? Probably, it could be. But I feel like I do see it. We're about to head up to the mountains again, and we'll make some good videos up there. But if you're gonna get it for 350 bucks, right? That's quite a bit of torque added, like actual torque. Don't forget, you can order the remote start. This one does have remote start on it, and I love it, especially for the winter time around here. It's gonna be really, really awesome to have that on there. Now for the gear selector modes, I use off-road mode typically when I'm out up in the mountains, and what that does is it redirects power to the tires and reduces wheel slippage while you're in sand, mud, snow, whatever. Obviously your tow haul mode is for tow hauling. It doesn't allow your transmission to go to overdrive. And if you're in terrain mode, think about that as a rock crawling mode. It'll actually hold the brakes for you if you're going down complicated obstacles, so you can do one pedal driving. Have I used it? Yes. But most of the time I am either in 4 high, 4 low off-road mode when I'm doing that. So they do work well and they do have a purpose. Haven't used tow haul mode yet on here. I really want to, but I'm trying to convince my wife first so I can buy a side-by-side. So, you know, help me convince her. Put it in the comments below if we can buy a side-by-side so I can tow with it. Yeah, the modes work well, and overall my impression of the 2023 Chevy Colorado Trailboss specifically is this thing is awesome. This thing is $11,000 less than the ZR2. Do I like the ZR2s? Absolutely. Do I think having rock sliders and a front and rear manual locker is worth $11,000? No, I personally don't. If I had the extra money, I would have bought it, but I didn't really want to spend $11,000 extra dollars just for those things. Oh, and 1 inch of lift, right? They get an extra inch of lift. So I'm not, from what I've experienced myself, and I've been off-road with it, I've never needed the front locker. The rear auto locker, the G80, does very, very well. And though it locks abruptly sometimes, it still serves its purpose quite well. And I don't need a manual locker. Is it nice sometimes to go into an obstacle with a manual locker? Yeah, but is it worth $11,000 more? If you have the money to spend, heck yeah, I get it. For me, a little more conservative, the Trailboss was the easy pick for me on that. I'm averaging around 16 miles per gallon in the city with these Nittos, and before the Nittos, I was doing actually like 19 to 20. On the highway, I'm getting about 21, 22. So did the high output and the tires reduce my MPG? Undoubtedly, yes, but not a big deal because that's a truck is a truck. So that's my 3,000 mile review essentially. One more caveat, I've had no issues. So this truck, I know there's been a lot of talk about, my battery this, my truck that, all that stuff, and I've had no issues. My build date was April of this year, 2023,
and I've run into no issues. Of course, you know, knock on wood, but it's been a good truck. It's run strong. It's been on the trails. It's done everything. It's pushing those larger tires down the road, and it's done everything I can ask of it. And it's had the high output tune, which some people said they ran into some issues with the calibration on that, and I've run into none of those issues at all. So overall, I mean, 10 out of 10. It's a freaking awesome truck. It goes anywhere, it does everything. It's got a good payload on it. It's got a lot of power. It's decent on gas, and it freaking looks good. So if anyone has any ideas how I could mount some auxiliary lights without a bumper, please let me know in the comments below. What have you done maybe that I haven't seen? What rock slider should I go with? Should I buy the standard Chevy ones? Do I wait, you know, until some new ones come out, because the aftermarket game has taken so long to catch up? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you have any recommendations of me doing anything with the truck, please let me know. I'm all for modifying everything. And I want to add those Oxido lights because they're freaking awesome. And a review will be going up on those shortly. They're easy plug and play to get on there. I'm going to try a way to mount them. I'm not going to put it in this video, but I'm going to see if I can mount them a certain way without damaging the truck. But thanks for watching, everybody. Comment below. Let me know how you like your Chevy Colorados, and stay tuned till next time.